Hey, it's a super competitive real estate market out there right now, and I've been seeing a trend of offers that are coming into my listings and buyers of mine wanting to waive inspections. So I'm here to answer the question today is, should I waive an inspection? What does this mean for me as a buyer, and what does this mean for me as a seller? My name is Wagner with the Artisan Group at Keller Premier Realty, and let's dive into this today. First off, here in Colorado, we have 3 dates and deadlines associated with the inspection. We first have the inspection objection deadline. Second, we have a inspection termination deadline. Thirdly, we have the inspection objection resolution. They all mean something a little bit different. First, the inspection objection essentially means this is the day that you have to have the inspection done by and a written inspection objection, or, hey seller, this is what we want done to the home by this date. So let's just say for easy numbers, it's the 1st. Then you have the inspection objection resolution deadline, and for this sake, let's just say it's the 2nd. This is the date, the deadline, that the seller needs to respond to the buyer by. So let's just say the buyer asks for 4 items, the seller's willing to do 2, not do a 3rd, and the 4th one they're willing to do, a credit maybe. So they have to, in writing, provide that to the buyer. So let's just say that was the case. Then we have the termination deadline, which is typically the same day as the resolution deadline. So again, let's just say it's the 2nd. So if you're the buyer, should you waive your inspection? And does that mean you give up the right for an inspection? In this competitive market, it's a trend. I don't like waiving the inspection, but it doesn't mean you give up your right to actually have the inspection. So essentially you can say, hey, I'm not going to ask for anything, but I want an inspection. So you remove your inspection objection deadline and you remove the resolution deadline, but you still have a termination deadline. So essentially what this means is, hey, we're willing to not ask for anything, but I want the ability to terminate if I find anything that I really can't live with, if that makes sense. So that makes your offer a little more competitive as a buyer. Now, the reality is if I'm working with a seller and we see these offers, I certainly like them as the listing agent. However, in practicality, I would hate for us to go through, go under contract and have an actual have the inspection, and then the buyer terminate based on something really small, or based on, let's just say there was roof hail damage, and regardless of whoever we sell that home to, we're going to probably need to get that roof replaced because it does have hail damage. And by the way, it's a hail claim on your insurance, so it's essentially just your deductible. Let's just say it's $1,000. And I'd hate for the buyer to walk, right? Based on something we're going to have to do regardless. So when I'm the listing agent, I certainly keep into communication with the buyer and the buyer's agent to find out if there's anything that, is going to cause the contract to terminate based on something that is really a non-issue. So the risk for the seller, it may terminate based on something small. The risk for the buyer, obviously, you can't ask for anything from the seller, but you do have the option to still get that inspection, which I highly recommend. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please reach out, like, comment on this video, and hope to chat with you guys soon.